Welcome back to Midday Kentucky, everyone. Well, if you're like me, I don't know whether you do it all, because
I
we do live alone. If you chatter away to yourself, we often wonder, is it a good or a bad thing? I often, when I chat to myself, I have a good giggle about it after I've had the conversation. Of course, Dr. James Stillwell, licensed pastoral counsellor, is in the studio to talk to us about, is it a good or a bad thing to have a bit of a babble to yourself?
Oh, it's totally a good thing. The problem is, we have a critical voice in our head, all of us do, that comes from the critiques we heard as a child, sometimes abuse we experienced as a child, and sometimes we talk to ourselves abusively like we wouldn't take from anybody else.
Okay, you're saying that you take the abuse from yourself,
yes,
and that's part of the conversation that's going on in your head.
Yes.
So you break that down by saying we have ants in our head.
Automatic,
what is that?
Automatic negative thoughts.
Okay.
It's just a good way to remember that those thoughts are not you. Those thoughts are bad information. They're not even true. And so recognize those thoughts for what they are.
Okay, so I'll give you an example, and tell me if I'm on the right track here. Standing in front of the mirror as you're getting dressed and saying, oh my gosh, I've got so fat. Is that and you're saying it out loud?
You would never say that to anybody else. You are more critical of yourself than you are of anyone else.
Is that what you're meaning, though?
Yeah,
along that line?
Yeah, so you're almost abusive of yourself.
Right.
And so take those thoughts and question them because they're not true.
Okay, well, they're true when I say to myself after I've eaten the pizza, oh, Troy, you shouldn't have eaten that. You're going to see.
Oh, I know,
everyone's
me
see
too. Well,
that.
it's all
you're
hindsight.
shooting on yourself.
Exactly.
But there's something you can do to sort of turn that into a positive, your negative thoughts. Write them down or even just say it out loud. Talk to
Well,
yourself,
what you're
right?
doing by saying it out loud or by writing it down, you are recognizing that it's just a thought.
Oh,
That thought does not have to control your life.
Okay. Well, how do we handle those thoughts? What do we do?
Well, you recognize them, you stop them. Imagine a big stop sign in your head.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop them, interrupt them, question them, and then practice something different.
And then something interesting that you have here, it says, would it stand up in a court of law? What do you mean by that?
That's questioning the truth of that statement that you've just made that puts yourself down.
Oh.
Like, I'm never going to make it. Is that really true? Could you prove that in a court of law? No. You're making these extreme negative statements, and possibly somebody, when you were growing up, made a statement like that to you.
Interesting.
Oh,
Extremely
interesting.
negative statement.
I got
You've
you.
internalized it.
So you say something else that can be positive is to sort of break up the negative thoughts, to find a distraction. But that's kind of easier said than done. Using that example that Troy made, I think a lot of us are guilty of doing that. We look in the mirror in the morning, we're upset, you know, I've got some gray hairs popping in, and it's all I can think of.
We all say it.
Yeah, so what are distractions like in that instance?
Well, a distraction could be writing it down, picking up a book or a magazine, intentionally
complete
stopping.
Physical distraction.
Yes,
okay.
intentionally stopping the automatic stream of negative consciousness.
Okay, well, you've got a few things here. Take a walk or call a friend.
Right.
Read a magazine or book, yeah?
Yeah.
Or tackle a chore.
Sure.
Like last night, I'll give you an example. I've been dieting because I've been getting a little bit chubby-wubby. And I was craving food at about 9:30 last night. When I say food, I'm just being careful with what I eat. And I was said out loud to myself, Troy, you've got to get over this. Stop trying to eat. You know, there's nothing in the house for you. But then I got up and I went and got 1.5 liters of that water bottle. And I drank that. But after I drank it, I finished, I thought, and I said out loud, well, now I'll be peeing all night. You know, it's like, I literally, because you live alone,
Right.
you know, and you live alone too, like, do you find yourself talking to yourself out loud?
It's okay.
And is it healthy?
It's like you said about leaving the TV on. You're making your space friendly to yourself. Why not?
And see, just by saying it out loud, I now feel really stupid.
I know. I mean, I do the same thing.
No, it's your own sense of comfort that you're worth it. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, so now we know it can be healthy and an outlet. Well,
Thanks for
Dr.
making
Stillwell,
us feel better.
Right.
Thank you for coming in, Dr. Stillwell. We appreciate it. And there's all your information up on the screen. You can head over to Facebook or drjamesstillwell.com.